in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to sing. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tell Jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. But college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to sing. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tell Jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to sing. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tell Jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Whoa. and truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to say. You might get the best of him, but sure, never for me. Now, sweet talk to beast, dog tail jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college turned out me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college turned out me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to sing. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beast, dog tail jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college turned out me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I say, whoa, I am my father's son.
What is up, 24/7 Buff Fandemonium? It's your boy Swank. It's Tuesday. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for the Tkgr Report with me and the twins and a very special guest, Mr. Justice General, who's going to be joining us right after we hit this intro. We're going to talk about that big victory. We're going to talk about the Commanders game coming up, and leave a comment wherever you're watching this right now, because we're giving away an Eddie Oliver jersey to somebody who comments tonight. Oh my God. Here we go. We're going to hit this intro. We'll be right back. Here we are, and here it is, another Tuesday, a victory Tuesday, in fact. Welcome to the Tkgr Report. As I said, I'm your host, Swank. And right before we even get into anything, below me, right down here, the man, the myth, the general himself, Mr. Justice General. What is up, Justice?
Listen, man, it is Victory Tuesday. The whole week, my week is amazing after the Bills have a convincing win. Now I don't have to listen to like pundits or at least, they don't have like credence to their argument.
Yeah.
When Josh Allen throws it for 80% and 3 touchdowns, you turnover, like, you know what I mean? Like after week one, stung a little bit, but now I don't care about their arguments because I know that there's nothing wrong with him. He was just excited. And I'm great now. I'm feeling much better. I get to keep my name. So, I'm feeling good.
I didn't even think about that, dude. Yeah, you might have had to. No, you never have to change that. That's fine. You're good with it.
Upset.
Right diagonal from me is one twin of two, Mr. Jarrod Reed. What's up, Jerry? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, doing pretty well. It's always a nice couple days after the Bills game to celebrate a win. But we got to get forward like we did last week after a loss. Just keep looking forward to next week's going to come. So we have the Commanders to look forward to and got a lot to talk about. So let's do it. FLX Mafia in the house.
Ooh, I was almost going to dog you about that's like the first time I haven't heard you reference between this lake and representing the FLX Mafia, but you saved it at the end. That's why I love you, Jerry. Right next to me, right over here, is my lost triplet brother from another mother, Mr. Scooter Magooter. What's up, Scoot?
What's up, Bills Mafia? Glad to be here. you guys already said it. 0-2 would have sucked. It'd have been a whole different conversation today. 1-1, and seeing the adjustments we saw, like Justice said, I'm in a really good freaking mood right now. Let's go, Bills.
Hell yes, absolutely. Going to the comments, we have right off the get the smoothest voice in podcasting, Mr. Ryan Thomas from the Thomas Takes Sports Podcast, saying, "What's up, boys? What's up, RT? How you doing?"
What's up, Brian?
Great voice. That's true.
Oh, man, it's right down here. I'm gonna work on it and get it. Oh, that's all right. Get it. I just want to do that impersonation, like call somebody he knows and be like, "Hey, what's up? It's Ryan Thomas." We had a little goof with Facebook here, but I think we got it straightened out. So we got some anonymous Facebook user stuff, but it looks like it's getting it gets rectified here. But I know who this is. It's Bedlam. It's Pandemonium. It's 24/7 Buff Pandemonium. That's our boy Rob Mullen for sure. Content creator for 24/7 BuffPandemonium.com. Go check out all the Cover 2 blogs that he's been throwing up. So what's up, Mafia? What do you want to talk about? You know, we're going to talk Bills. That's what we're going to talk about. We got John Johns. Now that was a game. Go Bills. What's up, John Johns? We got the beautiful Ellen Lartz. What's up, everyone? Go Bills. Victory Tuesday. We got Gregory. He said we needed that game. Greg, I think this is what? I think I recognize your name. Is this your first time? Is it second or third time, I think, man? Welcome back. We got Doug. What's up, Big Doug? All right. Yeah, one of the Facebook pages isn't showing your name, so throw your name in after your comment, and we'll give you a shout out here for sure. Facebook user at 8:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time says, no major injuries to report, but I'm a little concerned about Hyde's hamstring. I'm going to guess that that's Dr. Bruce, another content creator from 24/7 BuffPandemonium.com. Check out the injury report, man. Puts it out every week. It's a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, let's see. Hey, hell yeah. We got Gary Richardson. What's up? He says, go Bills. We got Robert Badette. What's up, Robert? We got our boy Kevin. What's up, Kev? Derek's back. Go Bills. So you love the commitment to the ground game. Absolutely. We got Lonnie. I win everything. Cook. Keep the comments rolling in the comments over here because you're entered to win an autographed Ed Oliver jersey just by being here, just by throwing a comment up. So keep it going. We got Lisa Johns. What's up? Beautiful. We got Adam. Good evening. What's up? Go Bills. Ellen Reed. Every time you say we have the beautiful Ellen, I'm thinking you're going to say Ellen Reed, and you don't. We also have the beautiful Ellen Reed here tonight, by the way. I got you, Al. Don't worry.
It's just assumed. Any Ellen out there is beautiful.
Ellen, I'm not putting you on the wheel of destiny.
Yeah, you are. Why not?
my Justice, Ellen Reed's my wife. She came on, left a comment. She wants to win that Ed Oliver jersey. So we'll make sure that.
I'm wondering, like, you know, she made that comment. Like, you need to tell your wife she's beautiful more often, man. If she's looking for it in the comments, dude, come on.
Thanks, Al. Beautiful.
I love you, Scoop. All right. We had a beautiful Bills win this last weekend against the Las Vegas Raiders. I'll go right off the get and say, man, we absolutely needed that. This needed to be the reality check. This needed to be the decider to let everybody take a big breath. You heard the whole city of Buffalo go after about the second quarter. So, Justice, you're our guest, man. You were talking a little bit before we went on air. I want to hear all about it, man. What did this game mean to you and to the fan base?
So I will say that obviously last year was a very trying year for the entire city, sports related, not sports related. It was just a really, really rough year. And then for it to end the way it did, with what we felt like was a lackluster effort by the team that we rooted so hard for, it really hurt. And then to come out this season after 6-7 months, something crazy of like waiting and, you know, like, oh man, I can't wait. And then to just lay an absolute egg like that just added to the pain, right? And now everybody's calling out your team. Well, they're not that good. Michael Irvin said we weren't making the playoffs. So it's just like, oh my God, like, you know, but to go out there versus a Raiders team, it's not a bad team. Like if the AFC wasn't so stacked, this would probably be like a 7 seed playoff team. And to just absolutely blow the doors off of them, I don't know, man. I like that's a big deal. You know, when you can hold last year's leading rusher in the entire league to minus yards for our defensive line, for our defense, that
I heard a stat about that Aaron Rodgers actually had more yards than Josh Jacobs did this last weekend. I thought that was hilarious.
Just this week.
I had more yards than Josh. You guys had more yards than Josh Jacobs.
I don't know. I fell back a lot this weekend.
So it felt really, really good. You take a look at the Bills' offense. Josh completed passes to 9 different targets. Like, come on, man, 80% passing. James Cook going up there and running for $120, 7 yards per carry, if I'm not mistaken. Like, just no turnovers. That is huge. No turnovers was absolutely phenomenal. After the first drive where they didn't, they had to punt it away. After that drive, every single other drive except for one, they scored a touchdown. And the one they didn't score a touchdown, they were stopped at the 1 yard line. So like it felt really good. It was just like, oh, okay, all right. So like there's not too much to worry about. It was just the Bills having one of those Bills games like where they have with the Steelers, where it was like we lost to the Steelers, or when we lost to the Jets last year. Like, it was just one of those games, and they come and go, but ultimately it doesn't necessarily diminish our chances of winning a title. So it felt good to get back on the right track, and also to see Cincinnati still sucks. The Chiefs didn't look really good, very good.
No,
the Chargers still suck. So it was just like, all right, we're getting back on track while everybody else is still trying to figure it out, and that felt good.
Right.
Absolutely, man. We had a rattle the reads last week where I do I pull these trivia things. I actually got one for tonight too, but where I try to stump these two and they kind of like fight each other to see who can guess more of the trivia or whatever, more of the stats. And last week's I dug out who started 0-1 last year and made the playoffs, and who started 1-0 and ended up less than 500 or 500 or less. And the names on that list were like fascinating, man. And you know how the media does it. Like if you win that first game and it's something they can talk about, they'll latch their teeth right into it and try and drive you. It's just nice that the narrative is still relevant. Like they had their week and now it's over, dude. Josh Allen is Josh Allen. It's not going anywhere else for there. Scooter, give me your synopsis. How do you feel about this game this weekend?
One word says it all. It's consistency. We saw exactly what this 12 personnel offense could be all about with Ken Dorsey calling it, and Josh was not forcing anything. 80% passing. Why aren't people talking about that? For the first 2 weeks, he's almost at 75% passing. That's a crazy number in the first 2 weeks in the NFL. So it's consistency on the offense. I love seeing it. Obviously, we'll get more into it, but 100-yard rusher, a 250-yard plus passer, and what he did, he dissected that defense, and he did a good job. Swank, I know your bold prediction was they wouldn't give up a sack, but I think the 2 sacks they gave up is a waste. They did good. That offensive line was pretty amazing. Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at Osiris Torrance and Spencer Brown. Spencer Brown deserves all the praise. Man, lining up across from Crosby and keeping Josh clean against him that whole game. I mean, everybody's real quick to talk a lot of game about Spencer and have been since he came onto the team. He showed out against one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL on Sunday, and he deserves all the praise. I think that whole line. I think if this is their low point and they're gelling and moving forward, this is a good sign. This is a good sign.
Two numbers you could take from this for our offensive line is the time that Josh Allen had to pass with his percentage of completion and the amount of yards per carry per rush. That line was dominant. That's a dominant performance by the line, and that's something that we needed to see. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, -2 yards, like Justice said, we're scared of Jacobs as of last week after what we saw at the New York Jets. We're scared.
Yeah.
That was such a confidence booster. And to see Bernard come in and fill that role and get the dust off and the rust off, it was a solid performance all around, and just the consistency. It was a full 4 quarters, and I loved every second of it.
Complimentary football, right? McDermott
yeah.
talks about it all the time. I mean, just played off everything. Everything played off everything. It was beautifully executed. And how about Dorsey? That game plan, Josh sticking to that game plan, it works. It works. It might not be like, lightning, but it's if you're going to put up that many points and you're going to win football games handedly, I want to see it every week. Stick to that man's play. If he can do it, do it. Jerry, what do you got for me, man? Yeah.
Real quick, Swank. You said lightning. If he keeps the short patterns and keeps these dumps offs and dinks and dunks constantly, it will be lightning because people are going to come up in the box and press more often, and we'll see that deep ball eventually. Just be patient with that.
100%. That's why it's all softening. You soften the defense up, and then you get those shots, right? An effective run game, an effective short game. It's beautiful. Jerry, what do you got? What's your take on this game, buddy?
So quickly, last week, Swank, you came the closest with the score prediction. You guessed 35-13, so you were pretty much spot on. And we all hit on our X factor: Josh Allen composure. Swank, you said Dorsey play calls, and Scott, you said offensive line play. So we nailed it. One of the big things that stood out to me this past weekend was our fourth leading rushing attempt guy was Josh Allen. He wasn't the first leading rusher, second or third. He was the fourth. And I'll tell you what, watching Latavius Murray run that ball to start the game off, what better? It kind of makes you wonder, James Cook coming in after Latavius Murray just nailing these guys for 2 quarters straight. Is that why he got 126 rushing yards? Because they were beat? And if that's the game plan, I'm happy with it, and I love it going forward. And again, the composure from Josh Allen was just simply amazing. Like Justice said, 9 receivers. I don't think any drops. Gabe Davis caught 6 for 92. I think he was targeted 7 times. Diggs playing Diggs. Kincaid's going to blow up one of these weeks. He's getting 4 and 5 receptions each game with 40 yards per game. So he's going to get his and Knox showing up. It's just everything's clicking right now. Week 2, usually don't see everything click yet. It is. Let's see how far it goes.
Well, I mean, that's what we wanted, right? Like, I think for week 1, we were talking about, like, man, all these weapons, all the offseason we're going in. We got Kincaid, we got Cook now. We got this revamped defensive line. We got big guys that can take the hits for Josh on short yard gains, right? And all that stuff that we were hyping up that we wanted last week, we got it all this week. You see Murray scoring those touchdowns. You see, or that touchdown. You see Harris getting that short yardage TD. Like, these are the things that we're trying to protect Josh with, even though we tried to, leap apps or whatever. And I don't know. You live and die with him, man. If he would have made it in, you would have been like, that's my quarterback. And then he got stuck and short, and you're like, well, it was funny. At least he didn't get hurt, I guess. It's one way or the other. But I don't know. I think you started to see these pieces kind of fall together, and you really, really got to look at what this offense, I think, can do and is planning on doing going forward into the season. Justice, what do you think about this Bills defense, man?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, like, I feel like they played really well against the Jets as well. I was very, very happy with how the defense has been playing. And so far, the defensive line looks absolutely dominant. We don't even have our best player yet. Leonard Floyd, what a major addition. He's getting so much pressure. Gregory Rousseau looks like he's turned that corner into becoming that star-ish type of player. We'll see if he can jump into superstardom one of these years. But I feel like he's showing that he certainly has the potential to do so. And obviously those guys in the middle, Ed Osborne, is just all over the place. Oh my goodness. He looks really, really good. Matt Milano, all pro, best linebacker in the league as of right now, PFF grade wise and ocular. Like, if you just use your eyes, you can see he looks like the best linebacker in the league at this very moment. 2 consecutive weeks with interceptions. Secondary, little odd. I feel like our safeties still need to, get back into the swing of things. Obviously, Micah Hyatt missed the entire season. Jordan Poyer missed a good portion of the season as well. And Taylor Rapp just, he's kind of trying to find his fitting. Christian Benford looks good. Tre'Davious White, we'll see. I'm not like upset with his play, but he's a former All-Pro, so you get high expectations for those kind of guys. One thing that the only thing that concerns me on this defense, because I'm looking at this defense and I'm like, this is another top 5 defense. Like if I didn't see the Cowboys defense just go bonkers,
Yeah. Oof.
I would look at our defense and be like, that might be the best defense. The only thing that concerns me is the fact that Tkgr is a healthy scratch for the second week in a row. I don't understand what's going on there. You don't put that much equity into a first round pick and then not use him. So that's very concerning. Because like there were plenty of other great players that we could have been utilizing at this point if we weren't going to use him. So that kind of irritates me a little bit. But I can't complain too much because Benford and White, you know, and Teron Johnson obviously are out there looking pretty good. So not too many complaints. That is something that's gonna bother me until I figure out what's going on, or until we get, you know, a adequate compensation for him. So I'm happy with the way the defense has been playing for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting with Tkgr, and we've talked about it a lot on the show. And I think, I don't know what the over-under is for how many more weeks he can be inactive to where you're like, okay, they just have no faith in him. Because going forward from here, it still could be situationally where they're like, okay, we need a man corner to play this, so we're going to inactivate whoever, right? Inactivate Tkgr. I also don't think Tkgr has done a bad job when he's been in the mix. Like, he's got a couple picks, he's been pass defending, he does have a couple holding calls and stuff like that, but he's a second-year player, like, who hasn't been starting. So I don't know how much more you expect him to learn by sitting out. I think it might be, I say Swank hot take right now. If he's inactive this week, he just doesn't fit their scheme, and he's going to be traded by the deadline. Scooter, what do you think?
Which sucks because he's not auditioning anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a first-round draft pick, and the fact that he's not out there, you're not going to get better in a 4th or a 5th, unfortunately. And I think that is the mistake. We looked at someone like Andrew Booth, that we were hoping for from Clemson, who would have fit into the scheme perfectly for Buffalo with that zone defense. And I think they missed. If this is a Kyer Elam that's not going to make the roster, we're going to be kicking our asses for a couple of years not drafting Andrew Booth. Just a series, I can tell you.
Booth. Oh my goodness, yes, I 100% agree.
But it's hopefully the success of the Buffalo Bills right now will kind of temper back that reaction of the Kyer Elam thing. But he's got to be out there within the next 2 weeks. He has to, or else Bills fans are going to be like, you know, they're out there. We could be 3-1 in 2 more weeks, and they'll still be like, we missed. You know, Brandon Bean sucks.
Yeah.
Brandon Bean sucks. He's getting drafted.
Yeah, we were talking about that on Sunday sessions, man. And to anybody who says that, like, literally 2 words: Josh Allen. Like, that doesn't matter. That could keep McDermott and Bean in business for me for the next 30 years. I don't care. Like, you saved my whole fandom by drafting this miracle of a man, and I'm good. Like, I don't care. Draft scrubs for the rest of your lives. I don't care. Thank you so much for Josh Allen. Jerry,
going back to the Kyer Elam with the whole he's losing value. I don't know. He's still a year. It's a year and a half he's been on the team. So I think he won't lose much, especially if it fits somebody's scheme perfectly where they're just waiting for Buffalo to propose something. Because, you know, Brandon Bean's not going to let anything go. So if it fits a different team schematically perfectly because he's a man guy, then you might get a second rounder.
That's a great take, man, because to me it's like he's not been in the league long enough to be a bust. I think you could still shop him as he doesn't fit in their system, but I also think that you can still be like, he does, we're just working it in still, you know? So there's a lot of question marks here. I don't know how much value you'd lose. I don't think you want to get rid of him this quick because he is a rookie. He's still on that rookie deal, and you can see where he goes. But there is, like, I don't know, man. The first 3 games of the season, your first round pick from 2 years ago is inactive. It's just not a good look. But I mean,
he also hasn't played bad enough to be considered a bust.
Yes.
Like, he played well as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And like,
He'd be a starter on at least 20 other teams right now, right? Yeah, it's interesting. But we also, I mean, to go back and play K-Gun devil's advocate, we've talked about how there are people on this team. This team is so deep. There are people that you like that aren't going to make this team, that aren't going to be on this team, that aren't going to get playing time, and they are going to go be successful other places. And I mean, maybe this is one of those cases, but hopefully not, man. I like Tkgr. I like the way he plays. Scooter.
I love what Doug Augie said. Need his speed for Tyreek and Waddle.
Yep.
I'm telling you what, Swank, to your point, if we don't see him by that week, if he's not playing those guys that week, that might be when we say he's done.
Yeah. Yeah. Great point. Great point. Oh, man, this defense. Oh, boy, this defense.
Swank, I'm seeing a name on my list here that he had 0 tackles, but he made a hell of an impression on me this past weekend, and that's AJ Epinesa.
Oh, yeah.
The pressure, the knockdowns that he got, the third down pass that he got up, I feel like his arms went 35 foot in the air to knock the ball down. AJ Epinesa, week 1 and week 2, has looked really good to me, and that's one of those things that we were nervous if he was going to make the team this offseason, and he did, and I'm glad he's still here.
Well, Jarrod, to add to your point real quick, I mean, the Buffalo Bills, look at the pressure they're bringing on the quarterback. How many sacks did they get this past week?
None.
But right now, I think someone mentioned in the comments, they're 5th ranked pass pressure quarterback in the league. So it may be a season where we don't get a shitload of sacks, but that pressure is creating enough.
That's okay.
Linebackers are getting the interceptions. I'm all for it.
Yeah, dude, our linebacking core is leading our team in interceptions right now. And yeah, absolutely. Sacks are a glamour stat, right? We all love them. It's great. They don't necessarily win games. There's a lot of defensive coordinators that have come out for that. Pressures are just as good as sacks in a lot of cases, right? Like you make a miss, and Scott and I talk about it all the time too on Sunday sessions. You get that guy, you get in his face, you put a little pressure on him, you shove him, you hit him. He doesn't like it. Like they're not going to be accurate. You know, it's just it's a fact. It's a football fact, you know.
Yep. The Chargers have, I think, potentially the most sacks in the NFL right now. Go look at their record right now.
Yeah, go look at Herbert's record, by the way, just out of curiosity. He has thrown statistically such a good 2 weeks worth of football, dude. And they are 0-2, and it's ridiculous. There's no explanation other than the Chargers curse. It's like Phillip Rivers' era just traveled over into the 2020s. It's crazy. Let's see. Gregory says, it'll be nice to have Vaughn back. I agree, man, but I'll tell you, this front line right now without him is still looking nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Was anybody else holding their breath when Jordan Phillips went down for a second there? And I'm just like, oh, God, please not it again, man. Like, let's go. Like, come on. And he came back out, and he was fine, and he's in it. Daquan Jones and Ed Oliver are a force to be reckoned with, man. Eddie O deserves all the credit, man. Like, just pressures and earning that contract, earning that extension. They were talking on WGR today. Would you have rather had Edmonds and not Oliver and like a cheap D tackle, or would you rather have, not paid Edmonds $18 million a year, had Oliver and Bernard, and it's like, it's hard to say the other when what we got right now is looking pretty damn good. Like,
I don't think Edmonds. I'm sorry. I don't think Oliver was like the kind of there. I believe it was more so like the Dawson Knox extension felt a little unnecessary to me.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah, there was
Especially
like,
if you
3
were
or 4
gonna
names
go-
floating around with that whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you were going to go and draft a first round tight end a year later. Like,
Right.
like you could have waited a little bit on Dawson Knox, paid Tremaine Edmonds, and then paid Dawson Knox. And then like you were going to get Dalton Kincaid anyway, who looks absolutely amazing. So that is one of those things where it's kind of like the Tkgr Elam situation where it's like ticking me off in the back of my mind, but there's so much good that you would literally have to fight through everything to nitpick and be like, all right, I have a problem with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. There's so much to go It just so much goes into it. Patrick Hughes was talking about Edmonds and how Chicago's probably going to put his face on a milk carton pretty soon because he just hasn't shown up in games. I think Chicago is a fire of its own, to be honest. But it's interesting. I mean, the dude took the money. I don't blame him at all. Mark Maddox says it all the time on this show. Go get paid while you can play and get paid, right? Like that's the name of the game. Like you have to. He also, was not the biggest fan of Tremaine Edmonds. but
I'd be more concerned with their quarterback situation than their middle linebacker
Yes.
situation.
Yes.
Their middle linebackers coming into a defense that's totally different than the Buffalo Bills. He's still adjusting. Justin Fields is struggling bad.
Yeah. Doug was asking if Puna was out there this week. Did he rotate in? Did he get any snaps?
I can look that up.
Yeah, look it up real quick. I love Puna Ford, man. But, I mean, I saw Settle out there, right? But a lot of Daquan Jones, a lot of Ed Oliver. And I
think
just love it.
The Bills' offense was on the field for, I think, 44 minutes. So,
yeah.
How many rotational guys are going to get in when they're only on there for 30 plays?
Speaking of that, Jerry, the Bills spent more than 40, I think more than 50 plays in the Raiders' territory, and the Raiders only had like 39 total offensive plays, and I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Dude, those stats that they were throwing up all game, oh my God, it was amazing. I love it.
Well, think about this. You take that first drive away, the Raiders only had about 150 total yards if you take that first drive away. That's crazy. Puna Ford had 13 snaps.
No, okay. All right.
32% of the snaps, yeah.
Saw Dorian Williams was in there too. He's getting a little action. That's good.
Yeah, well, yeah, they had their whole second string in there for the last half of the fourth quarter, which is awesome. I love to see it.
And we always say on the show, I've always heard it coming up through all the levels of football, playing time is the best experience you can have. So anytime you can get these guys in early in a blowout, you get them in there and you give them that experience.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Benford played 100% of the snaps for reference.
Yep.
Dude, I'm telling you what, man, I am ringing the bell for that dude. I know obviously the front office loves him. Chasing that who it was Hall last week.
Hall.
Chased Hall down DK Metcalf style. I mean, that is heart and that is speed and that is like the kind of like DNA I think that McDermott and Bean are absolutely talking about. And that dude, that is why he's out there. Like to me, that is one of the reasons why he's out there. There's no quit in him. You're not going to score on me. And there it is. I love it. So, guys, big victory, huh? Big AFC victory. Got right. Beautiful. We're 1-1. We're heading into week 3. I want to take a minute really quick and tell everybody, if you don't know, now you know. We're part of the Buff Fan Base Network. We couldn't be happier to be part of the Buff Fan Base Network. Justice General right down here. The man himself, bringing us on board. We're so stoked for it. All the time. Second season involved. And as part of that, we are sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go over to 26shirts.com. See what Del Reed and the gang have going on. All kinds of shirts for all kinds of charities. Comes right back to Western New York. It's a beautiful thing. Go spend all your money there. We say it every week. Do it. Just do it. Sign your check over. It's beautiful.
What's happening October 3rd?
Oh, October 3rd. Del Reed himself is going to be a guest on the show. We're very excited to pick his brain and, talk a little Bills Mafia folklore, rattle around. I was just telling Justice, I hope that the Dolphins lose horribly because I'm going to the game 2 days beforehand. And then I want to keep the energy up for that episode. Having Del here, it'll be good. But, coming off a win would just be, beautiful. So there's a segment that we do on this show, and Justice, you're going to have to play along, my man. It's called Rattle Them Reads. It's a trivia show where you in the comments can play along. And don't forget, put a comment in. Tell us that we are horrible. It doesn't matter. Whatever you write, you are entered to win an Ed Oliver signed jersey. Is it you got the signature that's like This is authentic. The authentication. You got that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it comes with a little sticker on there that tells you it's authentic.
So you didn't just write it?
No.
No,
it's
good.
not
All right. Yeah. So it's
This is
authenticated.
legit.
This is
I do
Promise.
have pretty good penmanship
I
as
am
far as
sorry.
cursive goes.
This is not fake. Scott.
But if you saw Ed Oliver's signature, you would think it was. It's so
Oh, yeah.
small, like real quick. So he's got that big 9, and it's like. It's like
Do you
Is he
got
riding the horse?
Do
when
you
he
got it
signed
close around you, or no? Is it in the house?
Our friend Paul Rossi actually has it. And he's wonderful enough to donate it to us.
Hell
to give
yeah.
away, so
That's our boy.
thank you, Paul.
Thanks,
Paul.
Paul. He's the man. Absolutely. All right, boys. This last week, a phenomena happened, and I'm so glad it happened because the Reed boys have been banging the table for it for I don't know how long, but we have a 100-yard rusher on the Buffalo Bills for the first time in a minute, and that man's name is Mr. James Cook. Now, there are 13 instances since 2017 where we had 100-yard rushers. Really quick, do you know how many players make up those 13 instances?
4.
Jarrod said, you said 4? Okay. Scott, what do you think?
That was confident. I was going to say 13.
13 different? You're out of your mind, dude.
There's probably so since what year?
2017.
So Josh's first year. I'm gonna say 4.
4 and 4. Scooter, what did you give me? Are you really going with 13?
No, I'm going 6.
You're going 6. Well, boys, if you went to Vegas and you split the difference, you'd be right. There's 5.
Okay.
I'll give you the first one. It happened Sunday. Mr. James Cook. Now, can you name those other 5 players?
One is LaShawn McCoy.
LaShawn McCoy. 5 times he makes up 5 of those 13 100 yards games. Let's see here. I think I got he's 4 of those came let's see, in 2017, I believe. Let me get my stats up here.
Yeah.
Yep, week 1, week 8, week 11, and week 14. And out of those 4 games, we won 3 of them and lost 54-24 to the Chargers, if you guys remember. That's right.
That. There was a stat that used to say, like, when LaShawn McCoy rushes for over 100 yards, it was a win.
It was a win. Yeah. That was the only game that did not come true. LaShawn McCoy also, let's see, in 2018, week 10, he rushed for 113 yards against the Jets.
All right.
All right.
Quarterback guy, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is responsible for 3 of those 13. He, coincidentally, I don't know, I thought this was kind of fascinating. He hasn't had a 100-yard game since 2021.
Justice, that's fitting. That's fitting.
Good.
The train is coming through.
Okay, I thought it was like, I didn't know. I was like, let me mute myself. No, but it's a good thing Josh hasn't had a 100-yard since 2021. Like, stay in the pocket.
Absolutely. Stay in the pocket. That should be a shirt, dude. Stay in the pocket.
Devin Singletary has to have 1, right?
Yeah, well, hold on. Let me get through Josh here. So Josh, his last 100-yard games, 109 yards against the Bucks in that close loss that they had in week 14 in 2021. He had the other 2 were in 2018. So he did not have a 100-yard game in 2019. That is kind of surprising, right? Right. But yeah, against Miami, he rushed for 135. That was a loss. The other one that he rushed for over 100 was against the Jets. That was also a loss, week 14 of 2018. Jerry, you said Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary is correct, my man. He was responsible for 3 as well. He had 2022 week 16 in the win against the Bears. So that actually wasn't that long ago, end of the regular season last year. He had one in 2021, week 17. That was 110 yards, a win against Atlanta. And then in 2019, week 12 against Denver, he had 106 yards. That was also a win. So there's a trend of running backs that's tipping in that favor, where Josh actually, if he runs for over 100 yards, they're losing most of the games. And running backs, they're winning most of the games. So you have James Cook, you have Motor, Josh Allen, and Shady. There's one more player that had one more 100-yard rushing game.
Since 2017?
Yes, sir.
Tyrod Taylor?
It is not Tyrod Taylor, sir. But that is a great guess.
Zach
It's not
Moss?
Frank Gore. Sucked with us.
Did you say Zach
Carlos
Moss?
Williams?
It is not Coach Los. No, not Carlos Williams. Did you have a guess, Justice? Did I miss it?
Is it Frank Gore?
It is Frank Gore, Justice
There you
General,
go.
coming on the show,
Boom.
finishing it off. Yes,
Yeah, I meant to
sir.
do that, Swank. We gotta
A
let
closer.
let the
You just
guests-
let him go. You're giving him the softball.
They texted me the answer in the chat, and I was going to take credit.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
The closer.
I did not know that. That's awesome.
Yes,
Frank
sir.
Gore, good for you,
Frank
man.
Gore, 109 yards in 2019 week 4 against the New England Patriots. And was that a win or a loss?
Trent says it's a win.
It's a loss. It was a loss, 16-10.
We didn't beat the Patriots very much back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, right there. I mean, it's pretty 50-50 as far as like win losses when we have a 100-yard rusher. But if you take Josh Allen out of the equation, it is significantly more wins than losses when we have a 100-yard rusher who is actually a running back. So I thought that was A, interesting. B, wanted to pay homage to my boy James Cook for getting his first 100-yard rushing regular season professional football game. I love the way he looks. I love the way he's running. I love the way that they are using him right now. They got him out in space a little bit. Things are looking very good for James Cook to be a generational running back. Scooter, Jimbo, what do you think? You good with Jimbo?
I'm great with Jimbo.
You want to trade for Derrick Henry?
Right now?
What's the over under, guys? 4 games. James gets another 100 yards. 4 games over under.
Oof. I mean, this week would be the week he would do it, right? You saying over? I like it.
4
like it.
more. So okay. I'm there.
Beer bet?
Take
We're
that
doing
too.
beer bets?
Not if we all take over. Unless you want to jump on the under flank.
Wait, did
you
I
say-
win the beer bet? I won the beer bet on Sunday, right?
Well, the question was asked kind of weird. It was over or under 1. I got to make it 1.5 or something like that because you were under 1. I was over 1.
And they did try once, and it was a
try
bluff.
1 is right in the middle. So you neither.
Well, I mean,
you
it's
didn't
got to work to count, right? I mean, all right, I'll give you an
Screenplays,
RT the wash on that.
All right.
Um,
But I do think he'll get another 100-yard rushing game. It might be this week because this week will be a game management kind of week.
yeah. I mean, I would see it this week as opposed to the Miami week for sure, because I think unless you're going to clip Tyreek Hill's wings and double team him and then just keep it, kind of play him the way that Belichick played him, get everything short, let him get down to the red zone so that you can, try and stuff him out of that, then fine, I guess. But I don't know. I think that game's going to be a fireworks passing 400-yard plus each side, blah, blah, blah kind of game. Yeah, so that was Rattle the Reeds. Don't forget, get them comments in for that Ed Oliver jersey. We're going. Eric says, same here, Derek, because Derek forgot Gore. Spin 0481 over on YouTube says, how about Gilliam goes over 100 for next week? Hey, man, we all got to
That's
have
old
dreams,
school.
bro. You got it. I love it.
You keep putting that bet in FanDuel and draft games. You'll see.
Yeah, one day you'll hit.
If that happens, you'll win a lot of money.
Yeah, dude.
Yes, you ain't kidding.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Ellen says there's a color photo available of Shady McCoy in the snow game. I'm going to display it in my Bills football fan cave. Very cool, man. I remember that was like one of the first games that Sarah and I, before we got married, we were watching together, and it was like so crazy. And when Shady broke that game winner, dude, it was just, I don't know, so awesome. It's one of those games that you look back on, you're like, I wish I was there. And while I was watching it from the warmth and the comfort of my house, I was like, I'm so glad I'm not there right now. And then they won, and I was like, damn it, I should have won.
And that game was super important because if we lose that game, we don't make the playoffs that year.
Yeah, 100%. The drought does not end that year. Paul Rossi can't wait to wear Bills gear in DC this weekend. Sweet, dude, you're going to the game? That's dope.
Nice.
Okay.
Come tailgate at the Mafia House.
There you go.
Tons of fun. Tons of fun.
Chris Christian says, I've got a question for you guys. Do they bring Dable back if he gets canned? Let's see. Go ahead, Justice. What do you think?
Do they bring Dable back if he gets canned? I think there would be a lot of variables that would have to happen for that. You would have to have Ken Dorsey continue to be terrible, which last week he was not. He was phenomenal, and I give credit where credit is due. B, he has to be terrible the same year that Brian Dable is terrible enough to lose his job. Or then C, there has to not be a better option available. And I just don't think that all three would line up, you know. I don't really see that happening.
And D, Sean would also have to get rid of Dable. And if he's anything like with Dermott, they're pretty committed to their staff. So I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
Paul Rossi says, I would not want Walmart Dable back. That is goddamn right for me too. Jerry, what do you think?
You guys hit it all on the head, so I don't want him back.
Nah. I think you're seeing kind of week one for me was like very fun with the Giants because I was like, that's what I thought of Dable this whole time. So like, I'm kind of glad that it happened that way. I'm very grateful for what he did for this team, but I do think that he got lucky with the talent that was around him. And, he had to do his part. I always joke around about whatever. I just don't really think that he's all that he was hyped up to be while he was here. So
they actually gave him credit for Josh's development.
Yes.
I was like, are you blind?
Yeah. I was like, do you know Josh's story at all? And the writing letters and getting like video analysis tracked and all this, the work that this kid put in his whole career to become who he is. And you're going to say Brian Dable had everything to do with it? I don't think so. But
yep. I think his off-season quarterback partner there had a lot to do with it too.
Jordan Palmer.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's see. Facebook user says, by the way, speaking of Vegas, both MGM and Caesars Entertainment had data breaches on their sports betting sites. Check your profiles. Numbers and driver's license were social security numbers and driver's licenses were affected. That was Rob Mullen. Holy.
MGM and who?
Caesars.
Oh,
yeah. Got FanDuel. I'm all good. I use an internet account. It's got like $50 in it. Go ahead. Take it. All right, guys. We got a game coming up. It's an NFC game. We're going down to DC to see the Commanders, a.k.a. the football team, a.k.a. whatever they were before that. This team is surprisingly 2-0 going into this game. You got a quarterback that was kind of a joke in the offseason. Everybody was, why is he starting? They're looking decent. They got a very good front four for defense. Scary Terry. There's things to be concerned about going into this game. These are not a Commanders team that's going to just roll over and play dead for the Bills. So it'll be interesting to see. Justice, what's your take on this game going on this weekend down in DC?
I think it's extremely interesting that Eric Bieniemy leaves Kansas City. Their offense turns to crap. At least looks like it's crap on paper. And then the Commander. I hate that name. Washington
So dumb.
is undefeated, and Sam Howell looks like a pretty decent quarterback. Now, one or two things can be true. Either A, Eric Bieniemy is actually very talented and was the mastermind behind everything, Kansas City offensively, or B, they played the Cardinals and the Broncos, and it was a total fluke.
Yeah, I'm leaning more that way. Yeah,
that's what I was just gonna say.
The Cardinals and the Broncos, they let Russell Wilson hang 33. I was arguing, I have a friend who lives in DC, and he told me today that they're gonna. He said Osiris Torrance was gonna basically get bullied on Sunday, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It makes no. I granted Washington's defensive line is very good, but just kind of you look at the teams. I'm like, we'll beat the Cardinals and the Broncos. Stop it. There's no chance that they do anything significant against us. So I think it's another Raiders situation. Honestly, it's just as long as the Bills play, consistently and they protect the football. There's literally less than 10% chance that they could lose.
Right.
I like it. Just the same, bet the farm on the Bills this weekend. Jerry, what do you think about this game coming up here?
Yeah, Justice brought up a great point. His buddy there said that the offensive line is going to struggle. And a lot of offensive lines will struggle against this Washington defense. But Allen's this past weekend, he was getting rid of the ball. I'd like to know what the time is. He was getting rid of the ball quick. That new offense with the short passes, dinks and dunks. So that's how you stop that rush. Also, maybe we'll see a couple more screens. But that defense has 10 sacks, but the Howell's been sacked also 10 times. And I know we don't like to use a sack as a gauge of how the game's going to go. But after watching the Denver game over twice, Howell's got concrete feet. I mean, he sits there and he waits. There's times where he waits 2 seconds without moving his feet, and that's going to be detrimental to this pass rush that the Buffalo Bills have. So just like Justice said again, I think this is going to be another Raiders game, and you'll see that with my score prediction. I think this is going to be a true test for the Commanders against the Buffalo Bills team. Like I said earlier, is clicking a little bit now, and I can't wait till Sunday. It's going to be fun.
Ooh, I like it. The confidence radiating off you, Jerry. It's getting me all worked up over here, dude. Scooter Magooter, what do you got?
Sam Howell was ranked a 32nd quarterback, maybe even worse in the preseason. Swank, you said it. Everybody voted it. It's a team that if you let hang out could hurt you. And that's why, like Jarrod said, my score prediction, the Buffalo Bills need to come up quick, get ahead, keep the lead, and keep pounding the ball, keep the foot on the gas. It's a lot. Our Buffalo Bills are a lot different than these Broncos and Cardinals teams that they played in the past. So, I mean, we're traveling, so there's always that, and Bills Mafia always shows up to these games. So we're going to be loud there, and it'll be exciting. But I don't think he'll live up to his 32nd quarterback ranking here this week.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think it's interesting. These are the kind of teams you kind of got to watch out for because they got absolutely nothing to lose, right? Mm-hmm. And they're rolling in here 2-0, whatever. I mean, their matchups are suspect. That's all fine. But, I don't know. You got a hot hand. You're playing at home. This is a game that, to me, the Bills absolutely, definitely should go down there and win. If they're the team that we think they are, that we want them to be, they need to roll down there, put the same goddamn game plan that they had last week on the field and blow them out. And it should be no problem. I would feel a lot better if they did that because I think the front end of their schedule is way easier to handle than the back end of their schedule. So we need to start stacking games, stacking wins, and get it right. I do respect Young, Sweat, all those dudes. I think that is going to be a tough line. Is that line any better than the Raiders line? That's what I want to know.
I think they're better than the Raiders, but not as good as the Jets. So it's going to be
it'll be right in between, you think? Yeah. All right. Fair enough for me, man. If that's the case, I'm good. I think you see Spencer Brown shine. I think you see Osiris Torrance do his thing. McGovern's out there doing his thing. Everybody's just locking in unison, and you'll watch Josh just sit there comfy as a bug in a rug, just throwing TDs all damn day. That's what I want.
The one big difference that I'm seeing is these wide receivers. They're not the big size like the Devontae Adamses and all that stuff in the world. They have speedsters. Scary Terry, Curtis Samuel, who does do that jet sweep. He could be very effective there. And Jihad Dotson, a Penn State product that could potentially start making a name for himself. So if we've already talked about it, if there's a week where we play a little more man and Kyrie Irving shows up, this should be the week with the speed that we're playing. So it'll be interesting, but those we can't take those guys too lightly.
I like it. We got just
one. I think Osiris Torrance is going to be our Quentin Nelson. Just coming as a rookie. I mean, he had 46 passing snaps yesterday and only allowed one pressure. Or Sunday, excuse me. And then also, I think Sunday might be one of those days where you see Josh have like 178 passing yards, maybe like 17 of 21, 178 passing yards, maybe a touchdown here or there. I really do. I think we jump out to like a big lead early. I could say like a 17-0 lead or something. And, it's one of those games where it's kind of like remember the Steelers game last year, the Steelers game, the Titans game, where it was like, oh, super fun for 2 quarters because we were just routing them up. And then it was like, oh, okay, the rest of this is going to be extremely boring because now we're just running out the clock at this point.
Yeah.
So I think we might see one of those type of games.
As long as they win. I mean, that's where I'm at with it. But yeah. Chris Christian says, what's our over-under on sacks we get? Woo, woo.
I think, because the film I've seen on how he's got concrete feet, like you'll see him drop back 3 or 5, and then he'll stop, and he'll just sit there, and like that's gonna be detrimental. So I would say my bold prediction was gonna be 6, but I think I changed it. So I'm gonna say let's say 5 over under.
Go 5 over under. What do you think, Scoot? Over or under 5?
Under.
Wait,
5.
4.5 or 5.5?
Yeah,
Okay,
we gotta go
perfect.
0.5s.
Let's go 5.5.
I'm going under. I think it's gonna be 2 perfectly timed sacks. I'm going 2.
2. Now, does Floyd's availability play into this at all?
Well, because they plant their feet, I think these sacks are going to be interior defensive line sacks.
Okay. What do you think, Justice?
Yeah, actually, you know what? Based on the logic that I just gave, I'm going to go with the over because they're going to be forced to throw a lot. And I think, when that a pass is coming, the defensive line kind of gets to pin their ears back and just go. They don't have to worry about a jet sweep or a handoff or anything like that. Just go get the quarterback. And like I forgot who said it. I'm sorry, but I think
just one of the twins. Probably. Yeah.
I think those interior.
We have twins here, so it doesn't matter who said it.
Yeah, and I look like them kind of anyways.
I can't remember which one of you guys said it, but I think that interior defensive line is going to. Oh, what happened?
You're still here.
Oh, you're good.
Gotcha.
Oh, my computer just went weird. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good, dude.
I think the interior line is going to get a lot of pressure. And we're going to see like a big game from your Ed Oliver. And Greg Rousseau has yet to have a bad game. So I think we might see 2 from each of them. Maybe, I'll go 1 to Floyd and I'll go 1 to Daquan Jones.
I like it.
Love it.
I think I'm going to go under, but I'm going to go barely under. I'm going to go 5. And I think I love Floyd, and he's been my guy ever since he got signed here. I just love his play. I would not be surprised if the Bills brass keeps him out this week just to get that ankle a little healthier. I know he said that he'd be okay and he would play, but they're deep. They're deep at defensive end. And you know what? Epinesa has not looked that shabby himself, and maybe it would be nice to get him a couple more reps and maybe see if he could actually live up to that draft pick. So I think 5. I think you see Groot get in it this week. I know he's been playing very good football, but I want to see him get the glamour stats. I know we talked about how it doesn't really matter, but I want to see him smoke him just because we said it's a aesthetics
got
does.
paid already.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Go crazy.
Just because it's aesthetics doesn't mean I don't want to see him slam that dude right to this on his face, man. Like I want to see it all the time. So yeah, I'll go 5, but I'll go the under for sure. All right, guys, let's go. I'm a little behind here. We're having a great time with our very special guest, Mr. Justice General. Thanks for joining us tonight. But it's 9:01, and that only means one thing here on the Tkgr Report.
Here we go, folks. We're in overtime.
That's right. The professional people over here at the Tkgr Report 24/7 Buff Pandemonium have gone over their hour, as we always do. So I had to have a graphic for it. And we're in overtime right now. So as we're going through this, please don't forget, leave your comments for the Ed Oliver signed jersey that we have. A giveaway, we'll be spending the Wheel of Destiny or the Wheel of Death or whatever you want to name it next week for that. Leave your comment. You're entered automatically. Also, don't forget, we're part of the Buff Fan Base Network. Great relationship. We love it. We're so happy to be here. And that means that we're sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. Spend all your money for great cause and dope clothes. That's just it. That's the nuts and bolts right there. So we're going to go around. And right now we do bold prediction, X Factor, and score prediction. We're going to do a little bit different this week. Bold prediction first. We'll go around the panel, and then we'll do X Factor around the panel. Then we'll do score predictions. Put your bold prediction first in the comments. Justice, what is your bold prediction for this week's game?
My bold prediction for this week's game is that Damian Harris, James Cook, Latavius Murray all go over 50 yards rushing.
Oh, I could see it. I could absolutely see it.
And that would definitely fit into your low passing and keeping the clock going and maintain that game.
I had to think with that in mind when I.
You want to put an extra little bold on that and say they each score a touchdown too?
Oh, that's not an extra. That's not an extra little bold. That's like a big.
That's like
extra.
extremely bold.
You'll
All
want
right,
a lot
I
of
got it
money
written
in draft for that one too. That's
I'll jump on that bold, and I'll say James Cook gets his second 100-yard running for the second week in a row. For sure.
I like that. That's a very rational, bold prediction for a Reed brother, and I love it. That's very nice. What do you got, Jerry?
I lied. I said I didn't have the sacks as my bold prediction, but I do. I have 6+ sacks again. Their running game's predictable. Robinson gets the ball 37 times. The next guy is 4. Howell with his stagnant feet and the Bills' pressure. So 6+ sacks. Love it.
that was an elite stat.
Ooh. Well, he's got the side eye going. If you watch his eyes while we're live streaming, if he shoots this way, man, he's looking at his tablet with the stats. He got his notes.
Sarah has cards for me.
Yeah, dude. I like it. Well, to play into that, man, Dr. Bruce, our resident doctor for 24/7 Buff Pandemonium, says, I watched them evaluate and retape Floyd low ankle, and he should be good to go. Floyd did say he was going to be good to go. I know how conservative his team is, so I was kind of going on that side of things. But if Dr. Bruce says it, hell, it's got to be true, damn it. For me, my bold prediction is not going to be a running prediction. It's not going to be a sack prediction, but it's going to be that Matt Milano keeps his streak going and he gets another interception. He mossed a dude. He mossed somebody. A linebacker mossed somebody last weekend and
Not
kept
just
his streak
anybody,
going.
an all-pro running back.
Yeah. I can't believe it. Like, Josh Jacobs had no idea what was happening. I don't think he knew anybody was bigger than him on the field. And it was beautiful, man. Milano was like just playing lights out. And yeah, I see him making that streak continue. And actually, if you take it back to the regular season last year, he's got 3 straight games with a pick. So
There you go.
we'll see what's up.
I got one more bold prediction.
Do it.
I genuinely believe this. I think all 4 of our predictions are going to come true.
I like it.
I
There
like
you
that.
go.
I
I
like
really
it.
do think that because all of them sound very rational.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not out there in left field. This is all, We haven't got to the homer part of the season quite yet, so we're doing all right.
We're still objective somewhat.
Yeah. That Jets game kind of humbled everybody.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let's see. We got man, I'm behind on these comments. You guys are killing it out there, man. John says Kincaid with a TD and 100 yards receiving. I love it. Dr. Bruce, bold as Kincaid gets 100 yards and a receiving TD. We got some agreement in the comments right now.
Jared said he'd explode one of these days.
Hell yeah, we're waiting for it. Derek says 2 TDs, Damian Harris, Milano, 2 sacks. I love it. Ooh, we got people moving on to the X Factor. Let's see. Chris says, bold prediction, Josh only runs the ball once. And it's a scramble, not a designed stupid run. That'd be great. Yeah, I like that. Doug says Kincaid with his first TD. I like that.
Yep, like that too.
Spin says Kincaid with 2 TDs. He's got a score prediction there. I'm going to hold on to that for a minute. Bold prediction.
It's coming.
Yeah. Facebook user at 9:03 p.m. says, bold prediction, Allen runs for 100+ yards and passes for 2 TDs without a turnover. I'm gonna go ahead and say I hope that doesn't happen. You can have bragging rights, but we just went through that with the rattle the reeds. When Josh runs for over 100 yards, they lose.
It's not good. Yep.
Our boy Kevin says Christian Benford 2 interceptions. I like it.
Like it.
And Greg's calling a shutout.
Okay.
Oh man. Let's see here. Mike V says Allen 450 and 4 TDs. You guys got it. I love it. That's a little bit of that. That's the homer pick of the night, Mike V. And you're good for it. I love it.
Homer.
All right, let's move on to the X Factor, and we'll go the opposite way around the panel this time. We'll go over to my brother, Scooter Magooter. Scoot, what's your X Factor?
Same as last week. This defensive line is no joke. Sweat, Payne, Allen, and Young. Interior or even exterior. The line, the trenches. That's going to be a big part. Protection for Josh and collapse for Howell. Definitely the X Factor.
I like it. Man, clean. You delivered that so clean. Look at you. I love it. Jerry, what do you got for an X Factor?
I had, just to continue, I'll say it every week as long as he's doing it, is Allen's composure needs to continue. And when he's composed, he has a great game. But my X factor is going to be the defensive line, the defensive ends. The Commanders like to run a lot of sweeps and tosses to the outside and the jet sweeps. And I think especially Epinesa and Russo are long, and they are great with the responsibility of keeping the integrity of the outside. So that continuation of their integrity of the outside is going to be a X factor of keeping this offense slowed down.
I like it. Justice.
I'm going to go in the same vein of the Reed brothers here. I'm going to stick in the trenches, except I'm going to flip over the side of the ball. I think our offensive line is going to be the X factor this week. Just looking at that defensive line, it's a very good defensive line. And if they're able to hold their own and create significant, lanes and opportunities for our rushers, I think that says a lot about our team, and it says a lot about the direction our team is headed in. And that would be extremely encouraging.
I like it. We got Rob saying the X factor for him is the Bills defense turns Howell over a total of 3 times. I like it. Dr. Bruce, X factor offensive line. Brown has another great game and becomes the guy we thought we had. Ooh, doesn't that hit right, man? Having Brown make that statement game 2 games in a row. Doug, X factor, keep the smile on Josh's face. Do you guys watch this? Like, I know probably in Buffalo, absolutely, we do it way more than any other fan base. But, like, I can almost tell what kind of game it's going to be based on how Josh comes out after his first drive. Like, if he's smiling and having fun, we're good. If not, and he's got that, like, scowl and he's kind of sitting down there, like, I'm like, oh, damn, dude, this is going to be a struggle. But I love that X factor, man. Like, that's absolutely his whole demeanor. That kind of goes to what you're saying, Jerry, for sure. Kevin says X factor, Murray helps soften Washington D-line and scores. I like it. Johns, Milano, and Benford with 1 sack each and 1 pick each. Ooh, he's swinging for the fences there. I like it. Derek says X
The Bills
Factor.
don't do a lot of those corners off the side, so that should be interesting.
X Factor, Commanders speed with their receiving core. How does our secondary stack up? Derek, that's where I was going with all this, my man. My boy Scott brought this up earlier. A lot of speed on that side of the ball, and I think this is going to be the perfect game to see how our secondary can hang. I will say this, and I love them to death, but Poyer more than Hyde, but Hyde and Poyer both have not, to me, looked 100% middle to young aged out there. Devontae getting away from Poyer, that one big pass play with a pocket breaking down and running to the right there, it kind of bothered me a little bit. It just seems like Poyer's chasing a little bit more, and I think that's that thing that we all have been waiting for and hoping hasn't come, but I think the age part of things might be starting to catch up. Devontae Adams is an amazing talent in the NFL, so it could be the other side of the ball is just great, and it was just a great route and whatever else. But I'm curious to see what the whole secondary does as far as Trey. I want to see Trey completely add on to his play and become like that all-pro that we all know and love, right? And I think he's had a pretty good couple of weeks aside from a freak touchdown in week 1. I think Benford's been doing great. I really like his play. Rapp is very aggressive, and I'm digging on that. I mean, obviously don't pull the penalties, don't pull the fines, but I like it. I like the energy that he brings. So you might see a little more rotation in there, but yeah, my X factor is the secondary as a whole, and I want to see what they do to slow down these speedster, because I think it's going to be a tell for week 4 going into Miami for sure.
For sure. It's a good test.
Yeah.
So now we're getting to the score predictions here. And yes, we're running a little bit over. We're going to do score predictions. We're going to call out our pick'ems, and then we're going to get the hell out of here. But Justice, what do you got? Please lead us off. Score prediction for this weekend.
I said earlier, I feel like there's going to be another Raiders game, but I also I feel like I want to be a little modest. I don't want to jump too far out the window. So I'll give the Commanders a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, because they are 2-0, and maybe that does mean something. Maybe it's not just because they played the Cardinals and the Broncos.
Maybe
maybe they might be a decent team this year. So with all that said, I'm gonna go 41-13.
I like it.
I like it. The more you talk, the more narrow I thought that score was getting.
My favorite thing to do in live streaming and these shows is to set it up like it's going to be modest and then just drop the hammer and do something like that. It's beautiful. That was very K-Gun, and I appreciate it. Jerry, what do you got?
I'm really close to you, Justice. I have 35-10, the Buffalo Bills.
Nice.
35-13. I was going 35-10, but I can't do the same. So 35-13.
35-13. Man, I love blowouts, man. I love the blowouts. For me, in the comments, we got Dr. Bruce saying 31-17. Kevin with a tight game, 24-20. Derek, 37-23. We got John saying 35-17.
It could be a defensive matchup. They both have the firepower there.
Could be. Mike V, 34-14. Man, I think, I don't think this is going to be a bomb fest. I think it's going to be a slug fest, and I think you're going to see a lot of running. I think, man, Justice, your take on that whole maybe under 200 yards passing, 1 TD. I like that. I say the Bills still win handedly, but maybe they don't score over 30. So I'm going to say 27-13. I think I'm going to go and we'll see how that goes with it. And hopefully they just prove me wrong and it's 38 or 52 or whatever.
41 to 13.
Yeah.
Just get the dubs. Just get the dubs.
We got Lonnie 32-10. We got Doug saying 21-7. All TDs. I like it.
There you go.
Sweet, sweet. Thank you guys. And keep those comments coming, man. You're still in the mix for that Ed Oliver signed jersey. Do it up. Now we got our pick'ems. Let's see. AFC East wise, the Broncos are at the Dolphins 1 o'clock on Sunday. We're sitting there. Let me see. The records got real tight this week, man. Scott is ahead 9-6, and Jarrod and I are at 7-8. But Jarrod was at like 1-42 last week, so he really made up some ground. He's also the one that keeps track of it. So if anybody's skeptical of cheating, go ahead and call him out. That's fine. No, we bunched right up. That was pretty good, man. I'm stoked on it. So, Justice, who do you think is going to win, Broncos or Dolphins?
I would love for the Broncos to win.
Yeah.
The Dolphins do look pretty good. I can't, sit here and call to a noodle arm bum anymore. I love the motion that they have, where they have like an inside receiver run outside, and then they like start filling in the gaps in the zone. That's gonna get stolen by so many OCs this season. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna go for Dolphins.
Nah. Understandable. Jerry?
Going Dolphins too.
Dolphins. Scooter?
If they were playing in Denver, that'd be a different story, but I'm going Dolphins. They're playing at Miami, and what better setup than have a 2-1 Buffalo Bills playing the 3-0 Dolphins?
I'll tell you a better setup. The 2-1 Dolphins playing the 2-1 Buffalo Bills. And that's exactly why I can't do it. I'm picking the Dolphins. Right. See? That's the move. That's the move every week. We got Dr. Bruce saying Dolphins, Mike V, Dolphins, John's Dolphins. Well, he said phone, but I think it meant fins. And then Derek, Dolphins, Kevin, Dolphins. Nobody is picking the poor Broncos.
That's good. That's a good sign.
Yeah. All right, then we got the Patriots at the Jets Sunday at 1 as well. That's probably the game we're going to get locally outside of our game, obviously. I'll start first with this one. I am going to say the Patriots, man. It kills me. It absolutely kills me. But I think O'Brien might have unlocked the little bit of skill that Mac Jones, that big bag of milk, has. And they're kind of moving the ball a la like the Hernandez Gronk years with like that double tight end set and like kind of pushing it down. It's the same kind of like a weaker version of our offense, right? Like the little dink and dunk and moving it down the field. And then you got a steady couple running backs. Zeke looks washed to me. I don't even know why they feed him as much as they do. Stevenson should be the featured back all the time, but I'm going to go Patriots on this one. Scooter?
Such a high after first week, and they're going to just keep falling. I'm with the Patriots on this one. I do think the coaching staff are putting these players in a good position to win.
I like it. Jerry?
And New England winning that one as well.
And Justice?
Interesting. I have the Jets
defense.
I have the Jets defense scoring more points than the Jets offense and the Patriots.
Oh, that's a great take,
Okay,
dude.
there you go.
I love that. I do love that.
Love it.
Derek says Jets. Kevin says Patriots. Dr. Bruce says Patriots. Listen, I know as Bills fans, it's so hard to pick the Patriots anytime, but it's a good get.
They're all
Mike
1
V.
o'clock, all these games.
Yeah. Mike V, Jets more than likely. Wilson doesn't see ghosts like Darnold did. I don't know, man. Wilson looks like you asked AI to draw a picture of Tom Cruise. That's what he looks like to me. Like his face just bothers me so much.
His helmet's so tight.
Yeah, dude. It's like squishing his, I don't know. And I think they spritz him with something to make him glow in between. It's definitely not sweat, dude. Yeah.
It's like a mom's love them.
See, Doug says as bad as they are, they always seem to beat the Jets, Patriots.
There you go.
John's, Pats. Don't seriously. I think you got autocorrected on a bunch of that, John's. He says Pats though.
A Belichick team going 0-3 to start.
Yeah, Doug says, have the Patriots ever started 0-3? That's a good little trivia bit. I don't know. Jared, you got all your notes up. Go ahead and look that one up. Patriots. All right, let's see here. We'll pick another couple games. What looks good here? Oh, Chargers at Vikings. That seems like a good one to pick to me because a couple pretenders, couple teams
Patriots haven't started 0-3 since Belichick's first season when they started 0-4.
Oh wow, really?
It's crazy.
Okay.
Sorry to cut you off, but
no, you're good. Justice, what do you think? Chargers at Vikings.
You know what's funny is I actually think the Vikings are the better team.
I believe it. I absolutely believe that. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
Nice.
I
I like it. Jerry.
I'm gonna go Justice Vikings.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
You guys
Kirk
are screwing me.
Cousins
You're
can't catch a
screwing
break.
me right now, man, because I vowed if the Chargers screwed me week 1 when I picked them, I would never pick them again, dude. And I'm so
There you
stubborn. I'm the
There
most
you go.
stubborn. All right, what do you guys got?
Why can't Kirk Cousins catch a break?
You're going to go Vikings too, dude.
Stellar numbers all the time. He just can't catch it. Jefferson's going to help him out. I think this offense remains on fire. They get their win. Minnesota.
All right. I'm going to do it. I said I wouldn't do it. I'm going to do it. Go Chargers, man. Let's go. Do one. Do one for me. How about that? Man, these games suck this week, dude. Wow. Rams at Bengals, Eagles at Bucks. I mean, Steelers at Raiders. That might be the closest game to call.
And it's a Sunday night game.
Yeah. What do you got, Scott?
I got Steelers. They got some confidence.
All
They
right.
just beat a division rival. I think that Raiders, the Bills, the pressure got the
All about that defense. The only reason they
Steelers-
won that game was the defense, for sure.
Yep. But the Steelers are going to bring the same kind of pressure for Garoppolo, and I don't think Garoppolo's going to survive that defense. Steelers.
Fair point. What do you got, Jerry?
I'm gonna go Raiders.
Raiders. All right.
Just because.
All right. Gotcha. Good take. All right, Justice.
If Devontae Adams plays, I can see the Raiders pulling it out. If not, I'm going to go with the Steelers there. But regardless of whether he plays or not, my official answer is going to be the Steelers.
Steelers. All right. I'm going Raiders. I think the Steelers offense is just, God, they're horrible. They're so bad. I want them to look better. I picked them last week and squeaked that out and was so happy to see the Browns lose. Oh my God, was I so happy to see the Browns lose. And Watson with 2 bad face masks, like on the side. Like, does he not know he's like one of the most hated dudes in football right now? Like,
and he shoved a ref.
Yeah, and he shoved a ref. Man, I don't know. It was glorious to see. Yeah, I'm gonna go Raiders. Let's see. It almost feels like completely irrelevant to pick a toilet bowl game because a lot of these games that we've already picked seem really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Panthers, Seahawks. I don't like picking NFC games because the AFC I feel like has a lot more relevance to what we're doing. Texans, Jags, Titans, Browns. I'm gonna do Titans, Browns. That seems like a toilet bowl worth picking. I'll go first. I never pick the Browns. Titans. There you go. Justice, what do you got?
Yeah, with Nick Chubb done for probably a season, if not more. I just don't see them really pulling it off. Who were the team that was playing again?
Titans,
Browns. And it's in Cleveland. Yep.
Okay, so that's why I was going with there. Like feel like the Titans somewhat found their footing last week after an absolutely hot garbage performance by Ryan Tannehill in week 1. He backed it up in week 2 with a decent performance. So I'm going to say that he keeps it going.
All right. Yo, Tannehill is good for that every other game, I feel like, where he's like, he's either a little below average or he's a complete steaming pile of garbage. Yeah. Jerry.
Tennessee.
I like it.
You're not going to like mine.
You're going to do it. You're going to do it. The most hated guy on the K-Gun right now, dude.
Pierre Strong Jr. is a running back that I thought the Bills should have grabbed a couple years ago, late in the draft, and he now plays for the Browns. It's his time to shine. Jerome Ford is going to do a good job. He's right now the starter, but this is where Pierre Strong Jr. takes over the Browns running backs for the next couple of years because Nick Chubb's got a long journey ahead of him.
He really does. Also, he's my dynasty running back, and that sucks. It was really great for a while, but it sucks now. So, all right, that's our pick'ems for the night, and I'm going to tell you guys, had a lot of fun tonight talking with you guys. Don't forget we're part of the Buff Fan Base Network, headed up by this man right down here, Mr. Justice General. And again, can't thank you enough for A, being on, but B, including us in this beautiful family that you had up. And I don't know, man, it's just really, really been a pleasure doing all this with you guys. So appreciate you, and thanks for coming on tonight. Don't forget,
Thank you.
We're part of sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com and give them every single dime that you have because they need it more and they do better things with it. You're just going to buy beer with it, probably. Just give it to them. We're going to run around and do some final thoughts. We're going to start with Justice. Give us your final thought, and please give everybody where they can find you and your Twitter handle and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. I want to thank you guys for having me on, first and foremost. Every time I come on here, it's an absolute blast. You guys mix like high football intelligence with like great personality and a good time.
Thanks,
and
man.
Your show is amazing. So I'm a huge fan of you guys, and it's a pleasure to have you guys a part of the family. I can't wait for that Del Rey episode. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
But you guys can follow me at JA17MVP, which is why I alluded to being able to keep my @ name. And I mean, that's really the only social media I'm on. So follow Buffalo Fan Base. We got a ton of great shows, and including this one. So yeah, man, thank you guys for having me again.
Hi, yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Jerry, what do you got?
It's always good to come talk football when the Bills win. So hopefully after week 3 next week, we get to do the same thing and have that high energy. We knew there was going to be a little bit of a learning curve and everything, and it happens with the first couple of weeks of football. I'm just glad the Bills have that first taste, that first victory. Take care of each other throughout the week, guys. And, I don't have not much to say, just I appreciate everybody that comments throughout the show. I can't wait to give this jersey out next week. I love what we do, and this is just fun. And I love you guys. And until next week, go Bills.
Nice. God,
There you go.
it's like going to church. I love you. All right, Scooter, what do you got?
My final thought is a lot has happened in the comments and all that stuff today, guys. You guys kicked ass. Over 180 comments, which is awesome. Tune in next week for the Ed Oliver jersey. We also saw Mark Maddox saying that he wanted to come in and talk. So we're going to plan on that soon. You can, no doubt about it. Del Reed coming in October 3rd. That's awesome. And I do have a little bit of equipment here for a future giveaway show. A nice little Gregory Russo. Check out the Military Appreciation Month. We'll probably be giving this away for sure.
Dad gave it to you, huh?
Yep, Dad gave it to me. He won it at the regular season Rager. He's like, give it away. But we do this for you guys. The fan base is all about the fans. Almost 170,000 followers, which is crazy. You guys doing a great job there. Thanks, Justice, for coming on. You're welcome anytime. Love it. Where else would you rather be on a Tuesday? For real, talking Bills football with a bunch of crazy Bills fans. I love you guys too, just like Jarrod said. And I love the panel. You guys are awesome. Go Bills.
Go Bills indeed. Man, the three of you really like set the bar pretty high for my final thought. I don't really know what to say, I'll tell you this. Enjoy this time, man. Thank you for all the comments. I'm going to drag this out just a little bit. Get your comment in to win that jersey, man. You get on that wheel of destiny. We'll spin it next week. You could be walking home with an Ed Oliver signed jersey. I promise Scott didn't sign it himself. I swear by it. Yeah, man. We've gone through a lot as Bills fans, especially our age, our demographic. We know we went through the drought, the highs, the lows, and here we are, man. Year 6 of this quarterback who is doing phenomenal things that'll be here for a long time still coming. Make sure that you just step back and realize where you're at. Week 1 is a liar. Week 2, we're getting closer to the truth. Enjoy it. Just enjoy it, man. We're here. There's not a lot of these games in a year, in a season. So enjoy these games while they happen and remember them, because there might be, different times ahead. So with that being said, man, you can catch us here every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the K-Gun Report. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're everywhere, man. You can follow us at 24/7 Buff Fandemonium, all those places, Instagram and YouTube as well. Jesus. And we're part of the beautiful Buff Fan Base Network. So follow everybody on there. And, man, there's nothing left to say. Go Bills.
Go Bills. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
I am my father's son. Let the fusing run.